welcome to my channel. My name is Ayel, the Saucy Vlogger, and if you're a new subscriber, I'm assuming you have subscribed. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm sure it's my smile that got you. Yeah, yes, my smile. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you also for always coming back for more videos. Yeah, so today we're going to be chatting, just chatting, like typical chats. Yeah, so the other day I saw this conversation that was going on social media, particularly Twitter, about boarding houses in Nigeria and how like negative they are on children and stuff like that, and how almost everybody that goes to or went to a boarding house has issues, like maybe mentally, emotionally, you know, stuff like that, basically. And a lot of people were saying that yes, it's true, boarding houses have more negative impact than positive impact on children. I was like, I must talk about this on my channel. I went to a boarding house for 4 years. Yeah, for 4 years I went to a boarding house, and I know firsthand how boarding house in Nigeria can be. I went to a boarding house in Lagos, but I'm not going to limit this video to Lagos because I know that there are 1,001 boarding houses across Nigeria, and I'm sure that a lot of people went to boarding houses outside Lagos. Yeah, okay, so let's jump right into this video. So I'm going to share some of my experiences, and the first one that's coming to mind actually is my first time in the boarding house. So quick backstory: I had been a day student for GS1 and GS2, but towards the end of GS2, I remember that I kept pestering my parents that I wanted to attend a boarding house. I told them, take me to a boarding house. I want to be a boarder and all those things, and they listened. They actually listened, and before you know it, they said, okay, we are looking for good boarding houses for you. We are researching about it and stuff, and like play they told me that it was time to go to the boarding house. And so when we were making preparations, I was told that because I was in GSS2, I was not going to be allowed to go straight to GSS3 because I was going to write an examination. There's this exam that GSS3 students write to promoted to SS1. I can't remember the name right now. If I remember, I'll look it up and I'll leave it on the screen. So they had said that since I was going to write that exam, they had to be sure that I was academically stable to write it. So they were going to take me back to GSS2 to start from GSS2 again, and so that I would be prepared. And I was like, kill off shit, man. I'm not going back a class because you guys do not know my academic capabilities. I am going to that GSS3 is where I am going to be. Like, nobody is taking me back a class. I threw a fit, a total fit. Like, I'm not a dullard, man. You cannot just tell me because of that you want to take me back to GSS2. Anyway, long and short, after a lot of back and forth, I was allowed to be in GSS3, where I was supposed to be, like, rightfully. And yeah, so I thought, I'd fought this battle, I had won and everything, and so it was not going to be rosy. But the shock cleared when my parents turned back, waved, and were like, okay, so we'll see you when maybe visiting day or when we come to pick you from it. And I'm like, oh, you people are leaving me. You people are leaving me. Like, I thought that they were actually sleep with me that night. Anyway, my father and my mother turned and they left me and my brother in the school, premises. And I started, when you're about to cry, you start feeling this, like something is pulling your, maybe it's your chest, but yeah, it's your heart, something just pulling. And I felt this overwhelming pain. Like, and so when I got back to the hostel, I finally got to the hostel. I was put in blue house because our hostels were arranged like according to the house where you are. I was put in blue house, room B to be precise. So as I was going that day, I just ran into my house mistress, and she saw me and she was like, this hair you have on, you have to loosen it. There's attachment in it, you have to loosen it. So what I didn't tell you guys was that when I was preparing for boarding school, my mom had said that, you know, it was not going to be easy, since I didn't know I didn't know anybody in the school. I was just going to start making friends and stuff. It was going to be better for me to make an hairstyle, or a hairstyle that is going to last at least 4 weeks. So by the end of 4 weeks, I'll probably know my way around how to make my hair in school. You get it? So there's this all back. I'm going to leave a picture on the screen, and I'm sure a lot of ladies know the hairstyle. There's this hairstyle all back where it's done in very tiny plates, like very, very tiny plates, and it's a whole lot. So people do that hairstyle because they want to wear it. Some people wear it for as long as 3 months, some people wear it for 2 months, you know, because they want it to like last longer. They don't want to make their hair as frequently as they should. So that was the hairstyle I made, but I added a bit of attachment to mine. Do you understand? So when my house mistress saw me, she was like, you have attachments in this, you cannot I'm checking to see if this is recording, because I'm not okay. It is recording. So she's like, you have attachments in your hair, you cannot come to school on Monday with this hairstyle. You have to take it off now. I pleaded, I cried. This woman was like, no, you have to take off this hair this night. Guys, the hair was tiny. The hair was tiny. Like thinking about it now, I just feel like there are some things that they could have done differently to make us, you know, we were human beings. And then I was young, and then this woman did not listen. She said I have to take it out, which is why till date, if I don't have to like losing hair, I would never do it. Like never ever. That's like the number one chore I hate the most, losing hair. I did not sleep through the night. I sat with that hair, I loosened it. A bit of people chipped in to help me, but you know, that was my first day. I had not made any friends. There was really nothing. There was really no reason why anybody should help me, but some people just helped because, oh, she's a new girl, she doesn't know her way around here. Let us just help her. I loosened that hair all through the night, and I remember that I had to like make. Thankfully, I could make cornrows. Like, you know, I was still learning how to make cornrows then, but I made it on my own head. Like I made like my head into like 5 or 6 places just to attend assembly the next morning. I was in GSS 3. That was my first humbling experience in the boarding house. And so from there, something in my mind just shifted. You know, I just realized that it's one man for himself or herself, and I had to be sharp. So I think that for me, from the day one of my going to a boarding house till when I left, or till when I became a senior, like a senior SS3, I feel like it was a daily rat race. So many times I had palpitations. I was scared, you know, of so many things. You didn't know what you could do to a senior that would get you in trouble. You didn't know what you would do to your teachers that got you in trouble. I feel like junior students were basically just walking on eggshells. You're walking on eggshells in the hostel, you're walking on eggshells in the school premises, you're walking on eggshells all over. Did you get, because you could just be walking and one senior says that you looked at her in a very saucy manner, come here, kneel down here, and I'm like, what is going on? See guys, let me give you a quick run through of how our daily schedule was like in school. So a typical morning, in fact, yeah, Monday to Friday, we're expected to wake up at 5 a.m. What you do from 5 a.m. to 5:45, it is your business. Meaning that you have to bathe. If you have not gotten, if you didn't get bathing water the previous night, that is your business. All they knew was you had to wake up, bathe, you know, arrange your stuff and get ready. At 5:45, we were sent out for morning prep. So we were supposed to do morning prep from between 5:45-6 till like 6:45. So I'm always wondering, what did they expect me to be reading at that time? I promise you that I didn't used to read anything. I'm serious. I didn't used to read anything because I just used to feel like I was not put together enough to like start reading that morning, because probably when I was leaving the hostel, one senior had told me that immediately after prep I should ensure that I fetch water for her immediately after something, you know. So there were a lot of things to think about now for me to go there and carry government textbook and start reading. So half of the time I was not reading anything during morning prep, to be very honest. I wasn't. You get it? So after morning prep, you were given like 30 minutes to 40 minutes to perform your morning duties. Now these duties varied. You can either be placed in the toilet, in your teacher's quarters, at the pits. There's what they call pits, like you don't even want to work at. You, I promise you, two places you don't want to work in the boarding house: the dining hall, the toilets, and where and the pits. You don't want to work there. Anyway, so your morning, where your morning duty was determined how fast you could do it, or how well you could even do it, and how easily you could escape being punished. Because for instance, you are put at the borehole to scrub the spirogyra at the borehole. Your supervisor, the senior is supervising you, can come and say it is not scrubbed well, and so you'll be punished. Yeah, so you could be punished for literally anything. I'm serious, for anything. So I think that a lot of the overthinking I do today now as an adult, I probably learned from when I was in boarding school, because you have to think every step through. You are not thinking, okay, you get into trouble, or you'd see, let me tell you something. The only thing that could probably save you as a boarder is if you have a school mother or school father, and not just any school mother or school father, a school mother or school father that has mouth. Now, you will not go and meet somebody that even her mates bully her to be your school mother. Tell me how she wants to protect you, or how your school father, wants to protect you from, the things that you need to be protected from, if they themselves are bullied. So you want to meet somebody that has clout, somebody that, when you are maybe a senior is about to punish your entire class, someone that can come in and take you out, and say, Tayo, I want Ayo out of there. Somebody that can pull strings, somebody that can, say, don't worry, you don't have to do morning duties, you don't have to do evening duties, don't worry, you can come and sleep in someone that has mouth. That's who you want to be your school mother or your school father. If not, you're on your own. There's no point. Just be by yourself. The funny thing is, I had a senior who had come to meet me herself and said, I want to be your school mother. This senior was fine. And then she said, okay, so every day when you're back, you bring your school uniforms to be washed. You come to my room to take your bathing water. You bring your clothes for ironing. You come to my room if you need any more provisions and stuff. Because she liked me. And I was like, okay, senior, Kiniko, I will not mention her name, I've heard. But then, I wasn't doing these things. Why? I'll tell you why. In my head somewhere, and as young as I was, I felt like the people that were performing these chores I ought to have been doing myself were my mates. So it's basically like my mates were doing the things I should do for me because I had a school mother. And so somehow I couldn't take it. I just felt I'd rather do my thing myself than give my clothes to a senior who is indirectly passing it along to my mates to do. And just because I refused to allow this senior be my school mother, or I started giving vibes like I wasn't interested in the offer, she changed completely, and all the likeness she had for me turned to hate. And she really did deal with me. She tried to warn me a couple of times and said, I want to be your school mother. I just want you to come and meet me anytime you need something. She tried to speak to me. She did try to speak to me to make me comfortable enough to let her be my school mother, but I wasn't listening, and I paid the price for it. Anyway, that is how it was in the boarding school. So let me go back to giving you a breakdown. So I was talking about morning duties. Now when you leave morning duty, you're expected to go back to the dining hall for breakfast. Now breakfast is like another 30 minutes, and of course you're expected to come with your cutlery and your water and all those things. And there were checks, like supervisors would go around to check if you're eating with your fork and knife, and if you had your water bottle. See, most of the time you can have your fork and knife when you are entering the hall. I'm serious. You can have your spoon, your fork, your knife, your water, everything when you're entering the hall. You get to your seat, you open your bag, you will not see your fork and knife. Or you will see knife, you will not see fork. Or you see fork, you will not see knife, you see fork and spoon. Why? Somebody had moved close to you and just opened your zip and took out your fork. And so you get to your table, they'll say, where's your fork and knife? You say, it's in my bag. And then you try to look for it, you won't find it. And then you'll be punished. So it was like that. You didn't know what to expect. Like, you could try to play safe, oh, and like, oh, I'll go to prep early, I'll do this early, I'll do that early, and it's just one thing. You just be going like this, one senior will just say, stop them, go back to my room, go and tell Kiniko, bring my bag from, and you just be late. And by the time you get to the hall for maybe breakfast or something, you are late, you are punished, you are flogged. So it was a rat race. I promise you, it was a rat race of, I don't know. Now, after breakfast, we move on to assembly. Assembly is basically where every issue is tabled, the principal addresses the students, we have spelling bees, debates, newscasting, depending on each day of the week. Now, assembly is also where people who have offended are punished, maybe flogged. A lot of people dreaded that thing, like being flogged in the assembly. Like, no, nobody wanted to go through that. So assembly is where that happened. From assembly, 9 o'clock, you're supposed to go to your classes, and you're supposed to be there till 4 p.m. Now, we have breaks in between, but even during break, you are not safe. Is it that one teacher will call you from their staff room and say you should go and buy them food? Guys, let me give you this. There was this day a teacher had called me and told me to buy them food from the canteen. Yeah, some people call it talk shop, but we call it as food canteen. Yeah. So when I went to the canteen now, it was during break and everywhere was crowded. Like, everywhere was crowded, people were pushing. So you know what happened? There was no plates. There was no plate to use. So somebody was eating. I saw one student eating. I just said, can I use your plate when you are done? And the person said, okay. So I waited for the person to finish eating and the person gave me the plate. Ejo, shebi, when I collected the plate, I was supposed to wash it, yeah? It didn't occur to me because I just felt like he had given me a deadline of when I had to bring the food to the staff room. Break was almost over. If I was caught with the food after break, I would be flogged. And if I take the food to him late, I might still get punished. Sorry, excuse me. I might still get punished. So it didn't really occur to me to wash the plate. So I just took the plate like that with the oil and everything, and I went to meet the person selling food, and the person sold food for me, and I took it to the staff room. And so when I took the food to him, it was like, why is the plate, I can see oil, why is the plate like this, and somebody used this? And I was like, yes. And he said, go and buy me another food. No, number one thing you have to know is that boarding school is not a university where you have your own. Yeah, we used to get pocket money, but my pocket money was with my house mistress, was with my guardian, and we used to get pocket money just every Sundays. Yeah, every Sundays you go to your guardian, you get your pocket money and all. So I really didn't have any money on me. The food I bought for him was almost like 300 naira. 300 naira then was big money. Like, how much I used to collect for my guardian every week that I would have 300 naira to buy a teacher's food back. I went back to the canteen. I sat down there. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried because, number one, this teacher, he told me he was not going to flog me first, that I should go and buy the food. And I knew how good it was with a cane. So the consciousness of that and the fact that I didn't even know where to get the food, I was crying. When I got to the canteen, they asked me what happened. I explained, I think in the long run, somebody shall manage to buy me. Somebody pitied me, bought me rice and warm meat. And see, I don't even know. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that story because it's just annoying me. I'm just angry right now. I'm like, Anyway, so it was basically like that. And if it was not a teacher sending you, it was a senior asking you to do this or do that or buy something and go and give it to another senior. And when you go to that class where that senior is, another senior will see you there and decide that they want to drink Fanta and ask you to go and buy Fanta and bring it. And another senior might see you there and say they want to eat fish pie and ask you. So one thing that I always dreaded was entering any seniors class during break time, because you will not eat. You will not have time for yourself during the break. You'll be going from errand to errand to errand, and that is how it was day in, day out. So I feel like every child that attended the boarding school probably learned how to plan. For instance, when I was in boarding school, one thing that I know that I used to do was that I used to take out my buckets with me when I'm going to prep, and I'll go and hide it in an uncompleted building. Wait, let me explain. So the thing is that, you know, if you decide to wait for when prep is over before you go to the hostel to take your bucket, you can jones. You know why? Let's say it is Senior Shade that is the hostel prefect, and she's the one with the hostel key. Yeah, she's the one that is supposed to go to the hostel to open it after prep. But seriously, Shade can decide that after prep she wants to kiss her boyfriend for a while. She can decide that after prep she wants to play around in the hall for a few minutes. Your time is ticking and you have till 10 o'clock. You know, I think prep ends 9:15 safe. So you have like 45 minutes to fetch water, maybe wash your clothes, maybe run seniors errands before you are to be on your bed by 10, lights out. Do you understand? So if I'm waiting for Senior Shade till when she's ready to open the hostel gate, am I not jonesing? I'm wasting my own time. So why as well when I'm going for prep, I'll just carry the bucket, put it in an uncompleted building, or hide it beside the tap and cover it with clothes. So immediately after prep, I'm running to the borehole and putting my bucket in front of the tap, fetching my water and going back to the hostel. That is how serious it was. So when I say that boarding house taught people how to plan, I mean in situations like this. Also, in boarding house, you have to be sharp. See, I told you guys that they stole my buckets. I don't know if I told you guys, but the first bucket I took to the boarding house was one aluminium bucket. I'll leave the bucket, I'll look for the picture and put it on the screen. I'm sure that a lot of people who went to boarding houses will know this bucket. My mom had written Ayo Al, like capital letters on the buckets, you know, by the side like this. And in less than 1 week, I could not find my aluminium bucket. Like, I don't understand. What did they expect me to do? Call my mother and tell her to bring another bucket for me, or go and cry to the first day I came I was crying, nobody listened. Who was going to listen to me crying that they stole my buckets? I just jejely went and stole somebody else's bucket too. Am I proud of it? See, I don't know. All I know is that they stole my bucket and I stole somebody else's bucket too. A lot of times, my cutlass, for example, somebody went under my bed in my room and stole my cutlass. My cutlass that had IOR written on it. My mother did not slack when it came to naming her daughter's properties. And I entered street too and I stole somebody else's cutlass. We call it FAP. You FAP my own, I FAP yours. The only thing that I didn't use to FAP was clothes. But to be honest, if you FAP my bucket, you FAP, what else can you FAP? Maybe my lantern. I will take yours too because there's no choice. Do you understand? There's no other choice for me. I just have to take yours. So basically that is how it was. Like, so I feel like, yeah, that there are a lot of perks to sending a child to boarding school, particularly if you see that you want your child to be like very independent, you want your child to be like very focused. One of the reasons why I'm quite a punctual person now is because I understood the implications, not implication now. I understood the consequences of being late in my boarding school. If you were late for anything, you were punished. Like, I'm told to either wash toilet for a week, push pits, cut grass, or you'll be flogged. And we had people that could flog very well. So why am I being late? I was late just once. I'm serious. In my entire years in that school, I think I wasn't late. Like, I didn't used to go anywhere late. Do you understand? Which is why now I can't be friends with people who do not understand time management. You cannot keep me waiting. You cannot tell me to come to a certain place at 9 and then I'll get there by 8:15 because, you know, in quotes, that is how I am. I'll get there like 45 minutes earlier and then I'll wait for you till 10:30. You are not there. You don't even call to say where you are. I can't deal with people who don't understand and respect my time, which is what the boarding school taught me. Do you understand? I feel like also quite a lot of other things, like it helped me learn how to live alone as an adult, because in boarding school there are a lot of people around you, but basically you are living alone. You are by yourself. You have to learn to proportion your provisions into, you know, meaningful sizes, so that it can take you a while before the next visiting day. You have to learn when was the best time to do chores, when was the best time to go to a certain place to avoid being punished. You just have to learn how to, you know, how to structure yourself, which is what basically adulting is all about. Planning, structuring, learning, growing and stuff like that. So it sort of helped me to become a better adult and all of that. But still, on the other side, I feel like I have a lot of anxiety issues now because I went to a boarding school when I was very young. I went when I didn't really know how to speak up for most things. So a lot of times I was living in fear. I was afraid, I was just on the edge most of the time, which is why now I feel like I'm an overthinker. I I I think about things even before they happen. I'm able to plan about things even before they happen. Why that can be seen as a good trait, sometimes it is not good, because you are just supposed to relax and let things take their own course. But sometimes I don't know how to do that, and it's because of the boarding school. Also, I feel like I had a lot of emotional issues when I was a boarder. There was this time I packed up and just left and said I don't want to go to this school anymore. Like, I shared my stuff, excluding my provisions, sorry. I shared all my stuff to people around me, and I'm like, I'm going home, I'm not coming back, blah blah blah. I'm not coming back to this school and everything. And I was in, was it SS3 or SS2? I can't remember. And I just had to go back anyway. But I was done with being a boarder anyway. So I feel like boarding house helped me, but then to a certain extent, it gave me too many anxiety issues. Like, I was always walking on eggshells. You don't know where you go that will land you in trouble. You don't know who you meet that will land you in trouble. You don't know. Let me tell you guys, there was this particular day I got to do hostel after prep, and like 10 minutes later this senior entered the room, and she's like, all my juniors to the middle of the room, come and kneel down here. And I'm like, I'm wondering, did she ask us to do something that we didn't do? What is going on? And she's like, my boyfriend didn't kiss me well this night, so I'm going to beat all of you. I'm going to beat all of you. All of you, get me one anger. And I promise you, she beat us all round. So I'm like, you don't even know. Some days, senior, you have done everything you're supposed to do right, but then you still get punished, you still get flogged. So then I hated being beaten. Like, even when I was growing up, my mom knew that I hated being beaten. Like, I would start to shout even before you touch me. You think that you are beating me, which is now you cannot playfully beat me. I would take it out of proportion, because I don't understand what it means for someone to beat you playfully. I don't understand, because I was beaten too much in the boarding house by both teachers and seniors for doing the barest minimum or for doing nothing. Do you understand? So she beat us all that night. There are times when a senior could say that she walked into the dining hall and she felt like a particular set of people were gossiping about her, were this and that, and then you get to the hostel and they will ask you to do unthinkable things. So I feel like, yeah, it gave me a lot of anxiety. I'm serious, to be very honest, it gave me a lot of anxiety. There was this particular day that this senior had brought out this, guys, if you see this angry cloth now, you know that's what they always beat us. This particular one was thick. It was thick. She now broke a certain part of it, and she was like, she used to beat us. I'm like, senior, ilé yìí ò bossy. In the words of Tolani Bad, kò bossy rárá. I cannot. No, that day I actually did stand my ground, and I'm like, no, you won't beat me with this anger. Like, number one, I hated being beaten. Number two, we didn't do anything. Number three, the anger just looked like if they should touch me with that anger, I would die. I already knew that if they beat me with that anger, I was just going to die. And so I was like, you can't beat me with this anger. So yeah, again, maybe it did teach me to stand up for myself. Gradually, I started learning that if you just drop your hand like this, when they want to beat you every time, you drop your hand and you're crying, or they ask you to sack punishment and you're crying, you are not helping yourself. You understand? You're not helping yourself. You're not helping anything. You have to, like, be brave, speak up for yourself. Even if everybody will gang up and beat you, speak up for yourself. So yeah, maybe the boarding house helps, but still, I don't like the anxiety issues it gave me. I don't at all. What else is there? Like, boarding house will teach you how to share. To teach you meet a lot of people. You meet people. See, there's this certain person that when she collects money for provision at home from her parents, they were living on the island then, and so she went enter market when we would never know what was market, where one market was. She went enter market, buy correct shoe and correct bag, and she'll keep it at home, and then she'll come to school with just Ijebu garri and sugar. And so she would go from room to room telling you different stories of how she doesn't have provisions and how you should help her, give her provisions, how you should give her some milk, or some cornflakes until her brother actually, divulged the secret of what she used her money for provisions for. You understand? It was her brother that actually leaked the secret. So boarding house, like, you meet a whole lot of people with different attitudes, different. So in the boarding school, you become emotionally intelligent to be able to handle or avoid different kinds of people, and that is how it was. So yeah, to an extent, I feel like it's not bad. So another extent, I feel like maybe I should not just have gone. Maybe I should just have stayed at home. Maybe I should not have asked for a boarding school. But I don't know. I just feel like in the long run, everything happens for a reason, and I am here because of certain experiences that have shaped me, molded me into this person that I am today, and I'm always very grateful. Yeah. I really just want to keep on talking because as I keep talking, I keep remembering different things that happened to me in the boarding house and different experiences that I had. But I'm going to end this video here. I'm just going to say that to each man his own. And I would say that it's very important for parents to converse with their children. You know these people, you better them. It's always better to speak to them, listen to them, know what they want, make research. Don't just dump them anywhere because your business, work or stuff like that. Like, actually listen to them. Go out of your way to listen to them and hear what they want. If your child is emotionally stable enough to be in a boarding school. If your child deserves to be a day student. You know your children, so So I feel like parents should just listen more. And then I feel like even if you do not want to send your child to a boarding house, make your research. Don't say, in this age and time, the world has evolved. No school, no secondary school should still have seniors bullying students, collecting their provisions, punishing them, sending them on errands, stuff like that unnecessarily. Like, no school should have that. So just make your research. Don't just do things half-assedly. Make your research before you do these things, and do things that will benefit your child first before yourself. Okay, so guys, we've come to the end of this video. Let me know what you think about this video. Did you attend a boarding school? How was your experience there? Did you make friends? Did you make enemies? Did you hate it there? Did you like it there? What did you learn? How was it? Basically, how was it? Just tell me. I want to read from you in the comment section. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking with me to this point. Please remember to like and share this video with your friends. I promise you that if you share this video with your friends, it will make them very nostalgic, and they'll remember a lot of things that they have not shared with you, particularly about their experiences in a boarding house. And you'll be surprised at the many stories that you will hear from them. So why not just do yourself and them a favor, share this video with them, laugh together about it, reminisce about the good old days and all of that. And I promise you it will be fun. Till my next video, guys, thank you and bye bye.